Firm theory, past exam questions. What are the basic aspects of financial management? It's a very frequently asked question. What are the basic aspects? One is procurement of fund, another one is effective utilization of fund. Basic aspects of financial management is also called functions of financial management. Okay? Sometimes functions here, sometimes what? Basic aspects. Now, it's very frequently asked 3 or 4 mark question. Very okay. But going to anyway. With respect to procurement and effective utilization of fund. Procurement either by way of own fund or by way of borrowed fund. Own fund borrowed fund. Own fund either by way of equity share capital or by way of preference share capital. Whereas borrowed fund either by way of long-term loans or by way of debentures. These are all the way in which we can be in the position to procure the fund. Okay. Now, before procuring the fund, we have to analyze the characteristics of source of fund. What are the characters we have to analyze? Risk, cost, and control. Risk factor, cost factor, and control factor. High risk goes to which fund? High risk goes to which fund?
Debt fund, borrowed fund.
After procuring the fund, we have to make use of the fund effective manner. Okay? So, effective utilization of fund, we have to use the fund properly and profitably because procurement is itself involves some cost. So, we have to make use of the fund proper as well as profitable manner. Then, 2 objectives of financial management. What are the objectives of financial management? Profit maximization and wealth maximization. 2 objects are there. One is the profit maximization and one is called wealth maximization. So, which is a short-term approach between profit and wealth? Which is a short-term approach? Profit maximization is a short-term approach, whereas wealth maximization is a long-term approach. Between profit and wealth, which one is more important? Wealth maximization is more important than profit maximization. Because if I am going to do the business, earning profit is the must one, alright? Whereas earning wealth is the best one. Therefore, wealth maximization is more important than profit maximization. Are you comfortable with now? Clear? Next. 3 important decisions for achieving wealth maximization. So we have to maximize the wealth. For that, what are the 3 important decisions we have to consider? One is investment decision, finance decision, dividend decision. Investment decision, our object, maximization of profit is the object. Okay? With respect to investment decision, our object is what? Maximization of profit is the object. Whereas finance decision, our object is minimization of cost. From where I am going to procure the fund. That's called what? Investment decision. And another one is dividend decision, dividend payout ratio. How much I have to pay dividend? That's the dividend payout ratio. Okay? So, I have earned the fund. If at all I am earning the fund, I have to pay the dividend. Clear? How much I supposed to pay? That is called the what? My dividend decision. So three important decisions are there. What are the first one? Investment decision, finance decision, and dividend decision. All are comfortable with now? Next. What is the next one? Next important question. Three characteristics of those offer: risk, cost, and control. High risk for borrowed fund, because risk is purely based on repayment. So if I am going to borrow the fund, I have to repay. When I have to repay is the biggest question mark. Clear? Any point of time I have to repay. In the circumstance, the risk factor will be high. But if I am going to get the fund by way of own source, there is no question of repayment immediately. Right? And only at the time of winding up, I have to repay. Therefore, risk factor is high, is purely based on borrowing. With respect to cost, high cost goes to borrowed fund, irrespective of the profit, I have to pay cost. Here, cost represents own fund means dividend is the cost of the company. Borrowed fund means interest is the cost of the company. So, irrespective of the profit I have earned or not, I have to pay interest. But with respect to interest, payment is remain constant, fixed in nature. And we are having tax benefit out of paying interest. Right? If I am going to pay interest, I can get the tax benefit. Therefore, debt fund is cost of debt fund is cheaper. But in case of own fund, I have to pay dividend. Dividend payment, depending upon my profit, dividend payment also going to increase. Percentage of dividend is purely based on how much of profit I have done. More profit means more dividend, less profit means less dividend. Therefore, payment of dividend is always higher than payment of interest. And with respect to dividend, if I am going to pay the dividend, if you are not going to debit, I can't debit if you are. Therefore, I have to pay tax also. Right? After tax only, I have to pay dividend. One hand I am paying dividend, other hand I can't debit in the dividend account. That's not expenditure. Whereas interest means I can debit in the dividend account, profit will come to tax rate also because of the savings will be there. Tax also savings will be there. Therefore, cost point of view, high cost goes to own fund. And the high control. Company can have better control over borrowed fund than own fund. In case of own fund, dilution of control will be there. So very frequently asked 3 mark question. Nowadays 1 mark will get one word will get. So what are the 3 characters? Risk factor, cost factor, control factor. Then next important question. Role of CFO. 5 major roles of CFO. If I am going to start the business, what I need? First, I have to plan what business I have to do, where I have to do, in which scale I have to do. First, I have to do the plan, the planning process. After planning, I want to do the business, I need a fund. Therefore, I have to get the fund by way of own fund or borrowed fund, I have to get the fund. After getting the fund, what I have to do? Invest the fund. One hand, I am going to invest in short term, another hand, I have to invest in long term. If I am going to invest in short term, that is called working capital. If I am going to invest in long term, that is called capital budgeting. Capital budgeting also called investment. So, plan பண்ணியாச்சு, fund correct பண்ணியாச்சு, working capital budgeting. Capital budgeting or investment is over. Now business is going on. But the moment the business is going on, risk factor is there. I should know how to manage it. Now, 5 elements are there with respect to functions of CFO. Major roles of CFO. Planning, source of funds, working capital management, capital budgeting decision, and investment or risk management. Once is it okay now? First now? Now it's okay? Is it audible up to now? Is it audible now? Can you check it up? chat box में chat करो. हाँ, कैसे करना है? Fine है, अभी zero को मत करो. Zero को मत करो. Okay, start பண்ணலாமா? Yes. So, five major roles of CFO, very frequently asked question. If I am going to start the business, what all I have to do? That's a major role. Planning, source of money I have to worry, investment decision, working capital management, and risk management. These are the five major roles. Even to start the business, it are the five major roles. Those things are called one, five major roles of CFO of the company. Now, thereafter, they have introduced one more theory called 9 emerging issues which affect the future roles of CFO. 9 emerging issues is very frequently asked question. The recent past, this question is there also. Because five major roles, any businessman has to do plan, working capital problem, source of fund create one is now. That's our now everything technology related, everything globalized, everything comes under the tax. But you need extra knowledge than normal business person if you are going to be called CFO. So currently, what are the things you have to update to become a CFO? That's called what? 9 emerging issues which affect the future roles of CFO. That shortcut I given, mnemonic GSTR, GST return, GSWS, okay? TTT, TTT, RRR, GSTR, ODT, NDS, MOND, MONR, okay, MONR, okay, one. G for globalization, then S for SF, stakeholders management and strategy, TTT, talent and capability, technology, transformation, RRR, regulation, risk and reporting. These are the 9 emerging issues which affect the future roles of CFO. So 9 emerging issues, mnemonic GST G for globalization, yes, stakeholders management, strategy, TTT, technology, transformation, talent and capability, RRR, regulation, report, risk and reporting. These are what? 9 emerging issues which affect the future roles of CFO. Then, two major difference between financial accounting and financial management. Okay? Financial accounting, accounts paper and the account paper. Financial accounting on accrual basis. Whereas, financial management is for cash basis. Investment decision பண்ணுறோம் கையில் பணம் இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும் how much the fund I have, how much the cash I have, thereafter they can make it. I want to purchase machinery, whether money இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும். Okay? So, how much the cash I am having, that is important. Therefore, financial accounting is for accrual basis. Financial management cash இருக்கான்னு பார்க்கணும். Therefore, based on what? Cash basis. Next financial accounting for the purpose of preparation of reporting purpose, for reporting purpose, whereas financial management is for decision making purpose. One is for reporting purpose, another one is for decision making purpose. If I want to do the decision, first today whether I have to invest one more branch open பண்ணலாமா, investment decision. Then I will ask, give your financial statement, till date P&L account கொடுப்பாங்க, right? Therefore, after verifying the financial statement only, financial decision comes. Therefore, where financial account ends, financial management begins. So, these are the 3 points for the with respect to financial accounting, different between financial accounting and financial management. What are the first one? Accrual basis, cash basis, reporting purpose, decision making purpose, Hence, financial management is clear, very comfortable. Next. Four segments in working capital cycle. First, you should know what is called working capital cycle. With a great difficulty, we are going to procure the fund. Correct? Procure fund. Then the procured fund I have to invest. Why I am investing? I want to get back the money with the profit. Right? It requires some time. No? So I am having cash procured fund. I am going to invest. I am going to purchase raw material. Raw material I am going to convert into WAP. WAP is going to convert into finished goods. Finished goods are sale panna debtor. From debtor I am going to get cash. Again, cash become raw material, WAP, finished goods, debtor, cash. Raw material, WAP, finished goods, debtor, cash. It is a cycle. Yeah? That cycle is called operating cycle, working capital cycle, cash cycle, or business cycle. Okay? Find operating cycle or working capital cycle or cash cycle. Okay? So operating cycle, working capital cycle, cash cycle, business cycle. Okay? These are all what are alternative name for working capital. Are you comfortable? Now, volume is very low. Not audible? Okay. Number 2. Can you check it out? Is it audible? Turn on off from the background light. Is it okay now? Can you check it out? No, okay. Rahul, is it okay? Honey? Can you check it out? External noise. Laptop. There is an option.
சரி இப்போ இது மட்டும் வாங்கி
Hello, hello. Voice is it audible? Is it okay now? Kindly check the ideas.
பக்கத்தில்
Rahul, kindly check the now. Is it okay now? Check control. Hello, is it okay? Audible? No comments from students. Okay. So segments in working capital cycle. 4 segments. What are they? Lead time, process or production cycle, stock holding period, and then average collection period. Okay, Rahul. Thank you. Then, next important. Understand the working capital cycle is also called operating cycle, cash cycle, business cycle. Definition of the working capital cycle: time duration required for which conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash. Time duration required for which conversion of cash into cash equivalent, thereafter back into cash are known as working capital cycle. It's also called operating cycle. Clear? Next, functions of treasury department. Next expected important question. Functions of treasury department. என்னென்ன ஃபங்க்ஷன் ட்ரெஷரி தெரியும் ஓகே கேஷ் சம்மந்தப்பட்டது ட்ரெஷரி கேஷ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரன்சி ஃபாரெக்ஸ் ஓகே கரன்சி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஃபண்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஃபண்ட் நாட் ஃபண்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பேங்கிங் கார்ப்பரேட் ஃபினான்ஸ் we are having 5 major functions. What are they? Cash management, currency management, fund management, banking, corporate. Cash management, எல்லாம் ஈஸி கேஷ் கரன்சி ஃபண்ட் பேங்க் எல்லாம் மோரல்ல சேமா இருக்கு இல்லையா அப்ப ஈஸியா எழுதுறேன் ஏன்னா வெரி ஃப்ரீக்வென்ட்லி ஆஸ்க்டு क्वेश्चन கேஷ் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் கரன்சி மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் ஃபண்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் பேங்கிங் அப்புறம் கார்ப்பரேட் ஃபைனான்ஸ் these are all 5 functions of treasury department. Next, with respect to float delay is called float. FLOAT. Float represents delay. So, with respect to float management, how we have to manage the float? First, enna float irukunu theriyum. I am sending the goods. Thereafter, I am preparing the bill. I am sending the bills to customer. After some period of time, 40 days or 50 days, you are going to transfer the check. I have to deposit the check. After depositing, I can collect the money from the bank. This is some delay. The delay is called here float. The floats are 6 types of floats are there. One is billing float, mailing float, credit period, mailing float, check processing float, bank processing float. I repeat once again: billing float, mailing float, credit period, again mailing float, check processing float, bank processing float. What is called the billing float? I have sent the goods. Thereafter, I am preparing the bill with adjustments. Okay, discount லாம். அதுக்கு ஏற்பட்ட delay. That delay process is called billing float. Then mailing float. Mailing float என்ன அர்த்தம்? I am sending the bill. You have to receive the bill. The postal delay. Mailing anja post. Okay, the postal delay is called mailing float. Then you received the check. You received the what? Invoice or bill. You have to deposit the money. பணம் கொடுக்கணும். For that, we are having credit period. What is credit period? Today you can collect the water. Today you can get the product. 40th day you can pay the money. Up 40 days is called the credit period. அது எப்படி எழுதுவாங்க net to 40. The terminology called net to 40. அப்ப net 40 represent what? 40 days credit period. Net 60, net 40. Ada how to reduce the credit period? idea. You are. Possible better. Call better. Yes. Okay, sir. So, how to reduce the credit period? 2 by 10, net to 40. Audit. 2 by 10 அர்த்தம் net to 40, 40 days credit period. But if you are going to, make the payment within 10 days, 2% is the discount. That cash discount is called what? 2 by 10 net 40. Therefore, credit period is the one of the delay. Then remaining floats are called mailing float, check processing float, bank processing float. Mailing float, you are sending the check. Thereafter, immediately I can't do deposit to the bank. I have to give it my accounts department to pass the entry. The accounts department, after passing the entry, they are going to deposit the check. Banker may going to take their own sweet time. Those processes are called mailing float, check processing float, thereafter bank processing float. So 6 types of floats. What are they? Billing float, mailing float, credit period, mailing float, check processing float, bank processing float. How to reduce the billing float? By way of instant billing, immediate billing. Goods you should not transfer without bill, without invoice. That is called instant billing. Mailing float. How to reduce the mailing float? By way of faster and economic way of transmission. Mailing float. Credit period. How to reduce the credit period? By way of cash discount. In the discount, cash by way of cash discount. Then remaining float. Mailing float. Check processing code, bank processing code. The remaining flows we can be the person produce by way of concentration banking and a lockbox system. These are all the various ways are that to reduce the float. So short notes on or explain float management கேட்டார்னா என்ன எழுதணும்? First, what is called the float? Float represent delay is called float. Okay, delay the float. Okay. So what are all the types of floats are there? What are all the types are there? Billing float, mailing float, credit period, mailing float, check processing float, that one. Then we have to write what are all the steps are that to reduce the float, or what are all the ways are that to reduce the float. என்னென்ன ways இருக்கு? Billing float how to reduce? Instant billing. Mailing float how to reduce? Physically and physically present, mentally absent. என்ன பண்ண போறீங்க தெரியல எக்ஸாம் தான். ஓகே, எத்தனை வாட்டி எழுத்து கிளாஸ் தெரியல எனக்கு. Billing float how to reduce? Mailing float, credit period, and the remaining float by way of concentration banking and the lockbox system. These are all the various types of floats are there, and the float management get of learn that. Then next we are moving for cash management. With respect to cash, okay, optimum cash balance is an important one. Am I right? எல்லாரும் போட்டே இருக்கும். இல்ல ஆன்ல தான் இருக்கு. நீ போடுறது ரைட். Cash management, optimum cash balance is the important one. What is called the optimum cash balance? Minimum amount of cash required at any given point of time is called optimum cash balance. What is called optimum cash balance? Minimum amount of cash required at any given point of time is called optimum cash balance. With respect to cash management, there are two models are there. One is J. Baumol's model, another one is Miller or cash management model. J. Baumol's, another one is Miller or cash management model. With respect to J. Baumol's model, it's purely based on uniform cash flow, nothing but even cash flow pair. Okay, uniform cash flow or even cash flow. Miller or cash management model is purely based on uneven cash flow. uniform cash flow and uneven cash flow. With respect to uniform cash flow, optimum cash balance formula is there based on formula square root of 2AT divided by I. A for annual cash disbursement, T represent transaction cost per transfer, I represent interest. Okay. So, with respect to examination, J. Baumol's model, optimum cash balance, practical problem is important. Whereas Miller or Cashman model, theory point is important. Theory is important. So in case of uneven cash flow, we have to periodic manner how much the cash available we have to identify. Month wise, for example, January month how much the cash, February month how much the cash. So cash balance how much the cash available. Thereafter you have to draw the chart based on available cash. Then where we are having maximum cash that you have to identify, that is called the upper limit. Upper limit. Similarly, where you are having lowest cash that you have to identify, that is called lower limit. In between upper and the lower limit, you have to identify return point. Clear? So, whenever your cash balance reaches the upper limit, what you have to do? Bring down the cash balance. Therefore, we have to invest. So, we have to want excess fund, we have to invest fund. Short term invest fund because working capital. Whenever cash balance touches the lower limit, what you do? We have to bring up the cash balance. If you want to bring up the cash balance, what you have to do? Sell it off the investment. So, on an average, you are going to maintain average limit. The average limit is also called the one return point. What is it called? Return point. This is based on MCQ chance. Your cash balance reaches the upper limit. Company has to do what? Sell it off the investment, disposal, or invest some money. This is chance. Clear? And another question also they can ask with the numbers. Nowadays, what case study based, number based queries coming here. Right? Average minimum cash balance, that is minimum limit, lower limit, assume 2 lakhs. Maximum limit 8 lakhs. Average limit 5 lakhs is the average limit. Now your cash balance reaches, I repeat once again, minimum limit 2 lakhs. Maximum limit 8 lakhs. Average limit 5 lakhs. That's the question. Average okay, we have to identify. Then now available cash balance comes to 7 lakhs. How much we have to invest? How much you have to invest? All of you. 2 lakhs we have to dispose, short-term investment. 2 lakhs you have to invest in short-term investment. 3 lakhs you have to invest in short-term investment. What is the right answer? 2 lakhs invest pannuma, 2 lakhs dispose pannuma. All of you. Useless fellow, none of the above. Whenever your cash balance touches the upper limit only, we have to invest. Even 7 lakh, 8 lakhs upper limit. Upper 7 lakhs, you don't know, you don't need to do anything. Whenever cash balance touches, now theory okay? Whenever cash balance touches the upper limit, excess fund we have to invest. 3 lakhs invest. 8 lakhs reach out. Are you with me or not? In between, till 8 lakhs or what? Till 2 lakhs, that's not business point. Understand logic or not? So, most important question. Are you comfortable? Now, so examination, J. Baumol's model, practical problem is important. And the Miller or cash management model, theoretical question is important. Next. Types of factoring. You know what is called the factoring? As a company, I am having my asset called bills receivable. That bills receivable I am giving to factor, I am getting advance. Out of my asset, I am getting advance. Like I am having jewelry, I am giving jewelry, I am getting money. Same manner, here I am having bills receivable, company's asset bills receivable, and the asset I am giving my asset, I am getting cash. Clear? That is called what? Factoring. 3 parties involved in factoring. Who are all them? Borrower, factor, and debtors. Okay, borrower, factors, and debtors. 3 parties involved. Clear? With respect to factoring, 2 types of factorings are there: disclosed factoring and undisclosed factoring, recourse factoring, and non-recourse factoring. Clear? Disclosed factoring represents what? I have to inform to the debtor, out of your fund only I have invested, I got the money. That is a disclosed factoring. Else it's called undisclosed factoring. In India, which one is viable, which one is practically possible? Disclosed only possible. Recourse and non-recourse. Clear? Recourse and non-recourse. If there is any problem, suppose debtor is not paying the money or debtor become insolvent, then I will compensate, I will pay the money. Loan then primary liability with borrower. If I am going to accept, that is called recourse factoring. Else, non-recourse factoring. Or if they are not, in India, disclosed factoring only permitted, recourse factoring only permitted. What are the procedure for factoring? First one, borrower sells accounts receivable to the factor. Factor purchase the receivable and provide advance against accounts receivable. நான் என்ன பண்ணுவேன், என் accounts receivable கொடுப்பேன், bills receivable கொடுப்பேன், I am getting loan from the factor. Then, whatever the money I am collecting from debtor, I have to forward to my factor. Okay, forward the collection from debtor to factor. Factor will also provide allied services. Ledger management பண்ணிப்பார், bad debts பார்த்துப்பாங்க, collection they will take care. Clear? Follow procedure எல்லாம் யார் பார்த்துப்பானுங்க? Thereafter factor will. So 4 procedure for factoring. What are they? Borrower sells his accounts receivable to the factor. Factor purchases receivable to provide advances. Borrower forward collection from his factor to customer to factor, and the factor may also provide allied services. Then commercial paper. 9 features of commercial paper. Short notes paper, 9 points. It's a short-term money market instrument. What is called commercial paper? Short-term money market instrument. Issued at a period of 7 days and less than 1 year. 7 to 1 year. 7 days to 1 year. It's a promissory note with a fixed maturity. Is similar to promissory note with a fixed maturity value. It's an unsecured one. Okay, it's secured unsecured one. Issued at discount, redeemed at par. Issued at discount and redeemed at par. The difference is called interest for them. Okay. Denomination over currency commercial paper value should be 5 lakhs. It's subject to stamp duty. Stamp duty undu. Then investor may be any person, individual or company or any person becoming investor. Restriction on issue based on RBA. Some restrictions also there. These are all the 9 features we have to remember through commercial paper. And in a procedure, we have the company has to apply application to RBI. I am going to issue commercial paper application. Application to RBI, approved by RBI. RBI has to approve. Private placement you have to do, and after completion, I have to what? Intimation to. I have to give the intimation to RBI. Application to RBI, approval from RBI, private placement, intimation to RBI. These are the 4 procedure aspect I have to follow. Next, time value of money. You know what is called time value of money? Worth of a rupee received today is not equal to worth of a rupee to be received in future. Worth of a rupee received today is not equal to worth of a rupee to be received in future. இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ரூபாயோட மதிப்பு ஓகே ஃபியூச்சர்ல உங்களுக்கு சேம் வேல்யூ இருக்காது. That is called one time value of money. Also called time preference of money. Why we need time preference? Why we need money today itself? What is the reason behind time value of money? One is the risk factor. Then preference for present consumption. Nothing but due to urgency. Today I need money, therefore give the money today itself. Investment opportunity. If you give the money today, I can invest somewhere. Future extra some interest also I can get. Investment opportunity. Inflation today I want to invest somewhere. Therefore I can be the person to come out from inflation. And the capital budgeting decision. Or you are not. So what are all the reasons for time preference of money? Risk, preference for present consumption, investment opportunity, inflation, capital budgeting decision. Clear? These are the 5 reasons. Very frequently asked question. 5 reasons for time preference. ஒன்றும் இல்லை, பணம் இன்னைக்கு வேணுமோ நாளைக்கு வேணுமோன்னு கேட்டா என்ன சொல்லுவோம்? இன்னைக்கே வேணும். Today itself I need. Why? Risk. Tomorrow you may not going to give. Or today I need urgently some work in pending. I got to give. Today's value become tomorrow's value. Inflation added. Today I want to purchase gold. Tomorrow's rate மாறிடும். அப்ப same quantity I can't proportion to 5. Understand logic or not? Then capital budgeting decision. Or if you give the money, I can invest somewhere. Tomorrow money value going to get extra interest I can get. These are all the 5 reasons for time preference or time value of money. How many ways are there? Methods are there to compute time value of money? Two methods are there. One is present value of future money. Another one is future value of present money. In case of present value of future money, you have to go by way of discounting technique. PV factor apply. Okay. In case of future value of present money, you have to apply compounding technique. Are you clear on? So present value of future money means discounting technique. Future value of present money means compounding technique. Then, capital budgeting technique. What are all the capital budgeting techniques are there? Totally 7 to 8 techniques. Okay, 7 techniques practical problem oriented to this. 8 techniques are there. One is simple payback, payback reciprocal, ARR, discounted payback, net present value, profitability index, internal rate of return, modified internal rate of return. Okay, out of which the first three without considering time value of money. Simple payback, payback reciprocal, ARR. The three things without considering time value of money. Remaining things, what are they? Remain discounted payback, net present value, profitability index, internal rate of return. These are all what? After considering time value of money. But time value of money kata idella sethu edunum. Okay. Next. Appropriate capital structure. So, with respect to appropriate capital structure, there is no optimum capital structure. Example question கேட்கறது optimum capital structure தான் கேட்பான். Optimum capital structure எது best capital structure பெஸ்ட்னு சொல்றதுதான் optimum capital structure. But theoretically, optimum capital structure is possible. Practically, appropriate capital structure only possible. What are the features with respect to appropriate capital structure? Appropriate capital structure என்னென்னலாம் இருக்கணும்? Profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, control. These are all the 5 factors you have to consider. What are they? Profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, control. Profitable. The capital structure should be profitable. Okay, debt equity ratio that should be profitable nature. Clear? Flexible. Tomorrow, if I want, I can be the person to raise the fund. Flexible. Then conservation. What is called conservation? I can be the person to bearable amount of debt and equity. Clear? Cheap ones I can't full and full depending on debt alone. That's also not good. Solvency. Because of the debt content. Cheap. If I'm going to borrow more and more money, because I'm paying interest, I should not land up with the risk of insolvency. And control. I should have the control over the business. More and more debt, you may have the control. So avoid the same. I should have the control. Control balance. So these are all the 5 factors with respect to appropriate capital structure. What are they? Profitability, flexibility, conservation, solvency, and control. 4 types of capital structure theory in new scheme. Few more, 3 more things also added. Yeah. Traditional approach, net income approach, net operating income approach, modicum Miller approach, trade-off theory, and taking product theory. Therefore, total how many types are there? 6 types are there now. What are the 6 types? Traditional approach, net income approach, net operating income approach, approach, taking order theory, trade-off theory. All the capital structure theory, we are having 7 assumptions. What are all the assumptions under the capital structure? 7 assumptions popularly known as 7 no's. 7 known தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். What are the 7 assumptions? No preference share capital, no change in capital employed, no retain earning, no loss assumption, no change in fixed cost or operating cost, no taxation, no difference in inverse cost expectation. Are you with me? These are all the 7 no's is supposed to have. What is the first no? No preference share capital. In the meaning in they are having equity share capital and debt fund. There is no preference share capital. Second one, no change in capital employed. I need 100 lakhs mean debt fund 50, equity fund 50, or debt 40, equity 60, or 90, 10. Total 100 இருக்கணும். Understood logic or not? But changes may happen 60, 40, 40, 60. No change in total capital employed. Okay, total capital employed remains same. Debt and equity alone 20 vary. Clear? Next, no retain earning. Whatever the profit I am getting, I am distributing to shareholders. EPS is equal to TPS. Okay? No losses. Company is always getting profit. No change in operating cost. Because I'm changing, because I'm issuing, there is no operating cost. The risk factor, operating cost, fixed cost will not remain constant. That's the assumption. No taxation. Very difficult to digest. Okay. There is no taxation at all. And no difference in investors' expectation. All the investors having same expectation. These are the 7 assumptions with respect to capital structure theory. Then two types of risk in financial management. Enna risk irukku? Business risk and finance risk. Business risk. What is called business risk? I am doing the business. I may going to incur a loss also. That risk is called what? Business risk. Financial risk. I am doing the business good, but because of the loan, because I am paying interest, I am land up with what? Closing down the business. And the risk. Am I right? Allah தான் profit இருக்குடா, but I'm land up with paying interest amount because நிறைய loan வாங்கிட்டேன். Because of the loan, I'm suffering mean that is called finance risk. Are you able to follow or not? Business risk வேற, finance risk வேற. Or best example, after COVID, person who earned lakhs of rupees, EMI கட்ட முடியாத வச்சான். போய் after COVID அப்புறம் down ஆனது. Lakhsல earn பண்ணி survive difficult ஆகுது. Understood why? Because financial commitment more. Loan நிறைய வாங்கி போட்டுருவாங்க. That is called financial risk. Okay? Business risk, while doing the business, I may going to incur the loss. Whereas finance risk means what? Because of the loan fund, I have to land up with paying interest. I may not able to continue the business properly. That's the finance risk. Then, two types of financial risk. What are the two types of financial risk? Risk of cash insolvency and the risk of variation in EPS, earning per share. Okay, cash insolvency have a chance or earning per share may going to get affected because of more interest paid in balance amount to the equity shareholders will less. Therefore, earning per share will come down. Consequence of over capitalization. What is called over capitalization? What is required capital? Whatever the issued fund is more. Capital employed nariya irukku, but investment opportunity very less. So over capitalization. What are the consequences? Reduction in rate of dividend and interest rates. Reduction in market price per share will get affected. Leads to window dressing. Window dressing in real projection because projection nariya comes to. Okay, Satyam case window dressing will leads to, and leads to liquidation. End up with the what? Wind up another. These are all the 4 consequences of over what you need. That amount alone should have the capital employed. 5 types of financial instrument in international market. What are all the euro bond? The 2 more question keta. Okay, short notes. What are all the 5 types of financial instrument in international market? Euro bond, foreign bonds, fully hedged bond, medium term bond, and floating rate bond. Okay, அதுக்கு short notes எல்லாம் கொடுத்திருக்கேன் bookலயே பாரு. Okay, what is euro bond, what is foreign currency? Okay, 2 lines எழுதுங்க. Euro bond, foreign bond, fully hedged bond, medium term bond, and floating rate bond. 4 methods of venture capital financing. What is called venture capital? Venture, new venture. அப்ப adventure சொல்றோம், new venture. Risky business, new business, new adventure பண்றோம், பெரிய விஷயம் பண்றோம் businessல. That's a venture. For that I need a fund. For example, I am going to create medicine for corona, medicine for cancer, இது மாதிரி medicine for AIDS. Something I am going to do new venture. அது ஒரு business தான, medicine create பண்றது. For that I have to do some R&D to create that. அப்ப whether I may going to get the success or not, biggest question mark. But huge fund I need. So I am having knowledge, but I don't have the fund. Somebody has to invest. Or 2, water scarcity I want to remove. I am going to convert. I want to convert sea water into drinkable water. அப்ப for that I have to do some research. என்றதான் whether success ஆகுமா ஆகாதான் தெரியாது. அப்ப 2 years or 3 years or 5 years somebody has to pump the fund for investment. Right? Thereafter only we can get back the money. Success ஆனதா. அப்ப new venture success rate is the biggest question mark. Success ஆனா நல்ல profit இருக்கு. Clear? Then somebody may, I am having money, you are having knowledge, both of them join together to do this business. That is called one venture capital. அதை எப்படிலாம் capital பண்ணலாம்? 4 ways are there. Either by way of equity share capital you can invest the money, or conditional loan. What is conditional loan? In general, loan means you will get the interest. Here you will get by way of royalty. Interest not fixed in nature. Once corona மருந்து கண்டுபிடிச்சேன், சேல் பண்ணா செம இன்கம் கிடைக்கும். Right? If I am going to get more and more inflow money, if I am going to get same interest, then it's not correct. Royalty means based on turnover. அப்போ டேர்ன் ஓவர் ஜாஸ்தியாக அந்த பர்சன்டேஜ் உங்களுக்கு அமௌண்ட் கிடைக்கும். Therefore, conditional loan is purely based on what? Royalty on based on turnover கிடைக்கிறது. Or you can invest the fund by way of income note. Income note ன்னு அர்த்தம், even if you are going to get the royalty, after sales only royalty will going to come. Am I right? Sale will happen after finishing the first phase of R&D அதெல்லாம் முடிக்கணும். அப்போ 2-3 years income இல்லாம இருக்கும். Clear? Therefore, interest கிடைச்சதுன்னா at the time of sales, you feel what? Less influence. Therefore, combined both interest kudu royalty kudu percentage la compromise பண்ணிப்போம். ஒரு 8% interest and 8% royalty. First few years, even sales has not happened, interest at least ஒரு guaranteed income உண்டு. Clear? Thereafter sale happening, started boosting. Royalty also will get, interest also will get. Right or not? அப்ப உனக்கு comfortable ஆகும். More sales 8% royalty and fixed amount of interest. Therefore, guaranteed income. That's why it's called what? Income note. And participating debenture. Okay? Participating debenture. By way of participating debenture, we are going to classify the debenture in 2 phases. Phase 1, 0 interest. Debenture you have to pay interest. Phase 1, you are also participating like shareholders. That's why phase 1, 0 interest. Phase 2, minimum interest. Phase 3, appada sale nariya more interest rates. Clear? Normally 18% interest go. Phase 1, okay, no interest. Phase 2 or 10% interest program. Or first 2 years, no interest. Then next 2 years, okay, or what? Instead of 18%, 10% interest will give. Okay, you are also participating. And 4th year onwards, you will get 20% interest. Appa, one is also happy. The moment sales has happened, at the time you will get more and more interest. Clear? I can also able to pay. That way, they are helping you to with the hand stand in the business. So these are all the 4 different ways are there in venture capital. What are they? Equity financing, conditional loan, income note, and participating debenture. Then debt securitization. What is called debt securitization? Converting debt into security. Okay, that is called debt securitization. Factoring partner. Clear? Similarly, I am a company. You are also a company. Now I am buying your debt. Logic என்ன? உன்கிட்ட எவ்வளவு debt இருக்கா? 25 lakhs. பணம் வாங்க துப்புல இல்ல கொண்டா. Okay, I will take care. I am getting your debt for liquidity. உனக்கு பணம் வேணுமா? அந்த 20 lakhs வச்சுக்கோ. I am purchasing 25 lakh debt from you because you need to fund immediately. So many years we have struggled to get the money. நான் பார்த்துட்டு எனக்கு குண்டாஸ் இருக்கான். I know how to get the fund. How many lakhs your debt இருக்கு in your balance sheet? 80 lakhs, கொண்டா 70 lakhs வச்சுக்கோ. அப்போ the 10 lakhs is the benefit. Similarly, I am getting all the debt. After one particular point of view, my balance sheet, big balance sheet, valuable balance sheet. Right? Now that asset I am converting into asset pool, pooling of asset. By way of asset pool, clear? By way of the vehicle, clear? I am going to create, I am going to issue the securities. Clear? So debt I am converting into what? Security. That's why it's called what? Debt securitization. That's logic around. So very frequently asked a question. For that, we are having 3 processes. What are they? Originator give various loans to different borrower. Finance assets are transferred in. Financial assets are transferred into special purpose vehicle. What is it called? Special purpose vehicle. Special purpose vehicle finance. The asset transferred to by way of within securities, out of which I am going to issue the security. Then participating debenture we discuss. First one, nil interest, low interest, and high interest. Lease. You know lease. What is called lease finance? Instead of buying the asset, we can go by lease so that we can make use of the asset. Cash outflow also huge manner will not be there. That is called lease. No, clear? Now, in the other building class edukunta, premier academic class. For that I need a building, prime locality I need a building. If I'm going to purchase the building, few crores I have to invest. அது முடியாது. லீஸ் எடுத்துட்டேன்னா, so I will get the benefit of the building also. I can do the business also. So the huge cash outflow may not be there for fixed assets. That concept is called what? Lease. Right? Now, 5 types of lease they are telling. What are they? Operating and finance lease, sale and lease back, leverage lease, sales aid lease, close-ended and open-ended lease. 5 types of lease. Operating lease and finance lease very popular in accounts itself. Easy way to understand operating lease and finance lease. Operating lease, income from house property part of it, right? Let out property. Clear? I am the owner of the building and உனக்கு let out கொடுக்குறேன். You are the tenant, right? If you are my tenant, is it possible for you to moderate or modify my building?
கிச்சனை ரெண்டா பிரிச்சுக்கிறேன், ஆர் ஹால் பெருசா இருக்கு சார், ஒரு 100 சவர கட்டிட்டு ஒரு பெட்ரூம் கிரியேட் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். Clear? Is it practically possible? Not possible. Why? You have to get the permission. Clear? So any capital expenditure related work, or you are working, you are in the tenant இருக்க, door உடைஞ்சிருக்கு or crack ஆகுது, whether you will do the repair work or I will transfer to me. Owner has to. அப்ப capital expenditure full-ஆ நான் தான் பார்த்துக்கணும். Clear? You can't modify the structure of the building also. Right or not? Use பண்ணிக்கலாம். Right? அந்த building use பண்ணு, for that you have to pay it. That is called operating. Tenant and house owner relationship, operating. Finance risk. With respect to finance risk, same nature. The building is there in Tinagar, heart of the city, business place. You are the owner of the Pothis. It's our company, okay? Or jewelry shop, okay? In the jewelry famous there. GRT, okay? You need that building, okay? Jewelry experience. If you are going to get, then will you modify my structure of the building or not? Then only you can do the business. After that, if you come and see, I'm building on doubt. Clear? நிறைய பார்ட்டிஷன் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, சேஃப்டி ரூம் வச்சிருப்பாரு, அப்ப full structure will change. For doing the capital, எவ்வளவு capital, அது that is equal to building or expense ஆயிடும், right? That capital expense who has to bear? Myself or you? Everything tenant will bear. That is called finance risk. Understand logic brewing, operating risk and finance risk. Okay. Now sale and lease back. Sale and lease back. What is called the sale and lease back? அதுலயே meaning இருக்கு. I am the owner of the building. I am conducting classes in Premier Academy in this. I purchased the building long back. Now after Corona, business is very dull. அப்ப working capital affect ஆகுது, investment affect ஆகுது. Textile shop தான் இருக்கு, have to purchase a material, வாங்கி வச்சுக்கணும். இதெல்லாம் affect, நிறைய பணம் lakhsல போகும் இல்லையா? Then what, I don't know what to do. Then unless otherwise I need a huge fund, very difficult for me to survive. Loan எவ்வளவுதான் loan வாங்குறது? Then I am calling முருகப்பா, the building நீ வாங்கிக்கோ, நீ ஓசில பணம் தர வேண்டாம், okay? 100 crores ஆகுது. How many crores I can borrow? Otherwise I have to pay huge interest also. Better I can sell the building. But ஒரு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணு, பில்டிங் சேல் பண்ணிட்டு அதை எனக்கு லீஸ் கொடு, யாருக்கும் நீ வாடகை தான் விட போற, எனக்கே லீஸ் கொடு, so that I can, without disturbing my business, I can get some cash. Nothing but what? The building or the name alone transferred. Right? Owner of the building, you. Till yesterday, I am the owner of the building, I want to pay rent. Tomorrow onwards, I may have to pay rent or lease amount. Right? So that I can sustain in the business. Few crores will come. You are also getting the primary part, you are getting the building. You are the owner of the building. Clear? And I got the lease back. Therefore, yari edu affect aham business without any water. Pick up, business will go smoothly. Clear? That is called what? Sale and lease back the same property, so that without disturbing the business, I can do the business. Now got the idea or not? Sale and lease back. Sales aid lease. What is called the sale aid lease? Sales, you are going to help me also. Clear? Some sort of advertisement, some sort of promotion. That is called what? Sale aid lease. Leverage lease. Concept of leverage comes into picture only in case of loan fund, debt fund. அப்ப லீஸுக்கு பணம் வேணும், அப்ப lessor lessee, instead of 2 person, one more person also involved. Loan provide பண்றோம். Somebody going to pump the fund. அப்ப 3 parties are involved. Then 3 parties involved means that is called one leverage lease. Somebody is going to give the loan amount for the purpose of what? The getting the asset. That is called leverage lease. Close-ended and open-ended lease. Open-ended, close-ended அர்த்தம் end of the period. Clear? I can purchase the asset mean that is called open-ended. End of the lease period, I can't buy the asset mean that is called close-ended. Similar to operating in finance lease. You are my tenant. After lease period 1 year, 2 years, 3 years முடியுது. Okay, 5 years agreement போட்டு வச்சுக்கோங்க. 5 years போட மாட்டோம். Suppose 5 years போறோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. End of the first year, is it possible to buy the asset? சார் இந்த வீடு நான் வாங்கிக்க சொல்ல முடியுமா? இல்லை. வாடகைக்கு வந்து வெளில போன்னு சொல்லிட்டு கடுப்பாடு இல்லையா? That is called close-ended. You can't portion to buy. Suppose finance lease like Pothis கொடுத்துருக்கேன். After 5 years or 6 years or 10 years, சார் நான் ரன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், நானே இந்த பில்டிங் வாங்கிக்கிறேன், சான்ஸ் இருக்கா இல்லையா? சான்ஸ் தான். That is called one open-ended lease. ஏன்னா அந்த the building become landmark ஆகும் போத்தீஸ் கிட்ட, ஓகே, என்னது ஜுவல்லரி ஷாப் கிட்ட ஒரு லேண்ட்மார்க், அதே ஒரு லேண்ட்மார்க் ஆகும். Then they will tell what? நம்ம இது லேண்ட்மார்க் ஆயிடுச்சு, so why should I water? I will buy the building itself வாங்குவோம். That is called after end of the lease period you can purchase the building means open-ended. Not possible to purchase means that is called what? Close-ended. Therefore, how many types of lease are there? 5. What are all them? Operating in finance lease, sales and lease back, leverage lease, sales aid lease, open-ended. Then 5 types of packing credits. The export, what are all the packing credit facilities are there? Clean packing credits. Next, packing credit against hypothecation of goods. What is called hypothecation?
Movable property.
Movable property.
As a collateral.
Packing credits against pledge. ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Commission. Okay, guarantee, ECGC, and what? Forward exchange contract. These are all the ways are there for packing credit. Repeat once again. What is the first one? Clean packing credit. Packing credit, hypothecation. Packing credits again, pledge, ECGC guarantee.
Forward exchange contract.
So pledge na, the asset will be there with me. Where a hypothecation, you can use the asset only in case of what? Non-compliance, I will get back and seize the asset. Then 2 routes of ECB. One is automatic route and RBA approved. In general, RBA approved only. Automatic route ECG stands for ECB, external, export, credit, banking, capital, budgeting, what? ECB. Quick part. ஜோதிகா இது எவ்வளோ லோகத்தில் இருக்கு, எவ்வளோ நின்று ஜாலியா. What are they? What is it called? External commercial borrowing. So automatic route வரலாம் or from one country to another country. RBI approved. 3 principles relating to selection of marketable securities. என்னென்ன இருக்கு? Safety, maturity and marketability. Safety got to see, maturity and marketability. Invest பண்ற என்ன பாப்ப, சேஃப்டி இருக்கான்னு பாப்ப, எப்ப மெச்சூர் ஆகும்னு பாப்ப, and marketable இருக்கான்னு பாப்ப. Cash management model, J. Bowman's model, uniform cash flow or uneven cash flow? In case of uniform cash flow, so what are all the assumptions கேட்கலாம்? Uniform cash flow, the transaction cost remain constant, holding cost remain constant, nothing but carrying cost, freely marketable. And the points எல்லாமே square root of 280 வருது. Okay, T for transaction cost, I for interest, holding cost, இதெல்லாம் கான்ஸ்டன்டா இருந்தாதான் we can use the formula. Miller or cash management model, what are the assumption? Marketable security have the marginal yield. Buying and selling of marketable security take without any limit. Okay, so excess fund I am going to invest somewhere. If I am going to invest somewhere, I can get some yield, some return கிடைக்கணும். What are the 3 control points in Miller or cash management model? Concentration banking. What are the 3 advantages of concentration banking? Float குறைக்குது. என்னென்ன float? Reduction in mailing float, reduction in check processing float, reduction in remaining 3 floats it's going to reduce. Okay. 3 reduction by the factor before providing advance to the borrower. என்னென்ன reduce பண்ணுவார்? We solve the problem also. Factoring sum. என்ன reduce பண்ணனும்? First reserve எடுத்துவார், then commission, free interest is the free interest. 3 allied services. What are the extra services provided by the factor? Credit investigation, sales ledger management, collection of debt. Okay, factor will do the 3 services. Aging schedule. What is called the aging schedule? Debtor, how long outstanding ஆயிருக்கு. That is called from date in which you borrowed, இன்னும் எவ்வளவு நாள் கொடுக்காம இருக்க, எவ்வளவு நாள் outstandingல இருக்க, எவ்வளவு நாள் கடன்காரனா இருக்க. That is called aging schedule. 4 months or 4 years or 2 months or 30 days or 40 days. So if I am going to analyze how long their debtors, that is called the aging schedule. What is the benefit out of aging schedule? Provide an early warning. Okay, earlier ஒரு warn பண்றது, இவ்வளவு நாள் debtor இருக்கான பணம் வாங்குறாங்க. Next, helps in analyzing the collection policy. It helps to analyze the collection policy. என்ன அர்த்தம்? யார்கிட்ட கேட்கலாம், யார்கிட்ட கேட்க கூடாதுன்னு தெரியும் இல்லையா? debtor நேத்திக்கு 31st March is the cut off date balance sheet. 30th March நீ borrow பண்ணிருக்க, நீ debtor தான். 2 years before அவ borrow பண்ணிருக்கா, she is also debtor. அப்ப நான் யார்கிட்ட கேட்கணும், யார்கிட்ட கேட்க கூடாதுன்னு தெரியும். Clear? அப்ப it helps for collection policy. Helps to Point out those customers who require special attention. சில பேர் கேட்டாதான் தருவான் ஸ்பெஷல் அட்டென்ஷன் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். To whom and all I have to give the special attention. Helps in projecting the monthly receipt. If I'm going to analyze next month whether I have to borrow or not fund or borrow direct பண்ணிடலாமா, somebody is ready to pay the money, then he can pay. We don't need to borrow the fund so that I can avoid interest. So for that decision making purpose it helps. Therefore, aging schedule helps in 4 ways. One is provide early warning, helps in analyzing collection policy, helps to point out those customers who require special attention, helps in projecting monthly receipts. NOI approach. What are the assumptions under net income approach? KD less than KE. Cost of debt. Right now cheaper than when compared to cost of equity. Cost of debt is cheaper. Next, KD remain constant at various level of debt equity mix. Debt interest amount remain constant irrespective of the debt equity mix. And KE increases as debt content increases. These are the 3 assumptions. What are the 3 assumptions? KD less than KE. KD remain constant at various levels of debt equity mix. KE increases as debt content increases. 8 assumptions under MM approach, very popular question. KD is less than KE. That's the first one easy. KD remain constant at various levels of debt equity mix. KE increases as debt content increases. Ditto from the previous one. Then KO is constant, not affected by leverage. WACC remain constant with average cost of capital. Then offset ஆயிடுது. We come across dividend approach, irrelevant approach, payment of dividend, relevant and irrelevant. Clear? Capital markets are perfect. All investors are rational. No transaction cost. Firms can be grouped into equivalent risk class. These are all the 8 assumptions under MM approach. 2 main reasons for arising trading on equity. Trading on equity concept is purely based on what? We can depend more on borrowed fund. Right? Provided return on capital employed should be greater than cost of debt. Reduction in number of equity share due to use of debt fund. Bridge finance. What is called bridge finance? Bridge finance I am going to get the loan வாங்க போறேன். Clear? But it requires some time or 6 months ஆகும்னு சொல்லுங்க. Immediately they can't pay even after giving all the documents, security எல்லாம் கொடுத்த அப்புறம் அதை வெரிஃபை பண்ணணும். You have to verify. Verification time requires 6 months ஆகுங்க. Thereafter they can give the fund னு சொல்றோம். In this circumstance, I have to wait for some considerable time. அப்ப considerable time wait பண்ண வேண்டியிருக்கு. Assume 100 lakhs money I need. I have all the document. You have to wait. I have to wait for 6 months. But 6 months start பண்றதுக்கு ஏதாவது லோன் கொடுங்க. Out of 100 lakh 10 lakh release பண்ணுங்க. I have given the surety security worth of 100 lakh. Out of this 10 lakh is possible or not possible? All of you. அப்ப the 10 lakh is a short term loan for the 6 months. Take your one time 6 மாசத்துக்கு அப்புறம் கொடு. இப்போது 10 லட்சம் அர்ஜென்ட்டா 10 lakhs முதல்ல கொடுன்னு கேக்குறேன். Clear? That 10 lakhs is called bridge finance. Bridge finance today you are giving money till the bridge the gap between today and the 6 months period. Main loan கொடுக்கிறதுக்கும் இன்னைக்கு உள்ள டயத்தை bridge பண்ணதுலயே ஒரு லோன். அப்ப ஒரு லோனுக்கு இன்னொரு லோனுக்கு bridge பண்றதுனால that's called one bridge finance. லாஜிக் புரியுதா? It's a short term or long term then? Short term. Short term interest will be high or more? Higher. Clear? High interest will be there. It's a short term loan. It bridges the gap between the date of sanctioning and the final disbursement of loan. Rate of interest is usually high. Those loans are usually repaid as and when the loans are disbursed. Main loan கொடுக்கும்போது 100 lakhs sanction பண்றம்போது they reduce what? Bridge finance. 100 lakhs loan apply பண்ணிருந்தேன். After 6 months எல்லாம் okay ஆயிடுது. Yes, 100 lakhs sanction sir. Whatever the bridge finance I have given 10 lakhs I reduce பண்ணிக்கிறேன். அதுக்கு நான் interest also will reduce, balance only. Now got the logic begin bridge finance. Then 2 types of payment under income note. Enna 2 types of payment? Interest and royalty. Then 8 factors that the venture capital should consider before financing any risky project. Risky project invest பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி what are all the factors you have to consider? 1. Level of expertise of company's management. I want to invest the fund. How the company is? Or what about the expertise? Are you expertise in doing the business or not? I have to analyze. இல்லையா? பணம் போறது எந்த பிசினஸ்லயும் பணம் போறதுனா என்ன பார்க்கணும்? அவன் போடுறோமே அவன் ஒழுங்கா பண்ணுவான பிசினஸ். Just like that பணத்தை கையில் போட்டு விடாது. Clear? You are doing the business. Whether you are having expert in doing the business or not, I have to verify. level of expertise in production, nature of new product, then future prospect, and the product is future prospects irukka illaya, okay, competition is there or not, risk borne by the entrepreneur, how much the risk they are going to borne, exit route, tomorrow if I don't want, how to come out, exit route, and board membership. These are all the 8 factors we have to consider before investing fund in venture capital. Debt securitization, what are the two-way process under debt securitization? Sale of an asset for immediate cash payment and repacking and selling the securities. First என்ன பண்ணும், டெட்டாஸ்லாம் வாங்குறோம், சேல் பண்ணிடுறோம். அதை ரீபேக் பண்ணி என்ன பண்ணுவோம், செக்யூரிட்டியா கொடுக்கணும். டெட்டை we are converting into securities. So the two process are there. Then 2 comparative conditions for the maximum assistance under seed capital assistance. What is called the seed capital assistance? Seed என்ன அர்த்தம், விதை. Okay, capital, somebody is assisting me, capital as a seed to develop. எனக்கு seed மாதிரி விதை மாதிரி யாரோ என்ன பண்றான், பணம் கொடுத்து உதவுறான். That is called the seed capital assistance. Nothing but I am having idea or I am a chartered accountant, clear பண்ணிட்டேன், my object I want to start the business or profession, practicing CA. அது கொஞ்சம் பணம் வேணுமா இல்லையா, knowledge இருக்கு, but I need some time to procure the client, satisfying the client, raising the bill and getting back the bill. அதுக்கு ஒரு லேப்டாப் வேணும், ஒரு இடம் வேணும், கிளியர் ஆர்டிஃபிஸ் வைக்கிறது பணம் வேணும். அப்போ somebody assisting, பணம் கொடுத்து உதவுறான். ஸோ நீ எனக்கு விதை மாதிரி கொடுத்துருக்க பணத்தை to assist seed capital assistant. You are assisting capital as a seed to grow. That's called one seed capital assistant. SSA loan மாதிரி அது மாதிரி கொடுத்தா then few years called moratorium period. I know to pay interest also. கொடுக்க பணம் கொடுக்க வேண்டாம். ஏன், நான் டெவலப் ஆகணும். பணம் கொடுத்தோன்னு ஒன்று பிசினஸ் பண்ணி வியாபாரம் பண்ணுவேன், இது பொருள் கிடையாது இல்லையா. ஸோ ஐ ஹாவ் டு ப்ரொக்யூர் த கிளைண்ட், ஐ ஹாவ் டு டூ த பிசினஸ், ஒரு டேக்ஸ் ஆடிட் பண்ணி அதுக்கப்புறம் பணம் வரது 1 or 2 years ஆகும் இல்லையா. ஸோ ஐ ஹாவ் டு வெயிட் ஃபார் சம் கன்சிடரபிள் டைம். ஸோ அதுக்கு என்ன சொல்றேன்னா, எவ்வளவு கொடுக்க முடியும் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சீட் கேபிட்டலுக்கு? 50% ஆஃப் ப்ரொமோட்டர்ஸ் கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் ஆர் 15 lakhs whichever is less. How much I am going to contribute, ஓனர் அதுல 50% தருவோம், அல்லது 15 lakhs the maximum slab limit. Project cost should not exceed 2 crores. The value of the business project or cost should not exceed 2 crores. Clear? These are the 2 comparative conditions with respect to seed capital system. Bridge finance ஒன்னு பார்த்தோம், seed capital ஒன்னு பார்த்தோம். Bridge finance is for business people, B for business. Seed capital assistance, CA, seed capital assistance, CA இருக்கியா, அப்ப it's for professionally qualified people. Different between bridge finance and seed capital assistance. Bridge finance is for business person. Seed capital assistance for professionally qualified person. Clear? Bridge finance is a short term in nature, whereas seed capital assistance long term in nature. Clear? Whereas bridge finance high rate of interest, seed capital assistance no interest or nil interest. Bridge finance there is no moratorium period, whereas seed capital assistance few years, 5 years moratorium period. Logic period, the difference between bridge finance and seed capital assistance. Are you with me? Then 3 features of zero coupon bond. With respect to various types of bonds, bond, zero coupon bond. It does not carry any interest. Issued at discount. Upper redeemed at par. Upper discount to redeemed to par difference investor interest. 100 ரூபாய் bond 80 ரூபாய் கொடுக்குறேன்டா. After few years I am getting back at 100 ரூபாய். Upper 20 rupees is there, no? That's the benefit for me. Understood? The difference between discount value and the face value of is the income for the investor. Then 2 different certificate in double option bond. One certificate is for principal, another one is for interest. Interest for certificate, principal for certificate. That's why it's called what? Double option bond. ADR and GDR. ADR stands for American Deposit Receipt. GDR stands for Global Deposit. What are the 5 characteristics of ADR? May or may not carry any voting rights. Issued at in accordance with the US law. Okay, American deposit, US law. It has bearer. It's a bearer negotiable instrument. Bearer negotiable instrument. Then holder can sell in the market. Market le sell panna mudiyum. Once sold, ADR cannot be reissued. These are the 5 characteristics of American deposit receipt. What are they? May or may not carry any voting rights. Issued in advance, issued in accordance with the US law. it bearer negotiable instrument. Holder can sell in the market, open market. Once sold, ADR cannot be reissued. Similarly, GDR can சொல்றான், there is no voting right for global depositories. Freely traded in the international market, marketed globally and traded in more than one currency, because global more than one currency, whereas ADR dollar. Then investor earn fixed income by way of dividend. GDR can be converted into underlying shares. These are all the 5 characteristics of GDR. Repeat once again, what are all the 5 characters? No voting right, freely traded in the international market, market globally traded more than one currency, investor earn fixed income by way of dividend, GDR can be converted into underlying shares. Next, plugging back of profit. What is called plugging back of profit? We are having earning per share, total profit. Assume I am having profit of 100 lakhs. All 100 lakhs I am not going to give as a dividend. 60% retain earning, 40% only I am going to give the dividend. Why I am retain earning 60% transfer பண்றேன்? I am investing somewhere, some investment opportunity is there, so that I can get extra income out of this 60 lakhs. That concept is called plugging back of profit. நான் profit என்ன save பண்ணி வச்சுக்கிறேன். ஏன்? For the purpose of wealth maximization, because I am having investment opportunity. What are the 5 advantages of plugging back of profit? It's an economical mode of finance. 100 lakhs to 60 lakhs I am transferred to reverse reserve. Retain earning வச்சுக்கிறேன். அந்த retain earning வச்சிருந்தா என்ன அர்த்தம்? 60 lakhs I am gaining. I can invest somewhere the 60 lakhs. Else I have to borrow 60 lakhs, further I have to pay interest. அப்ப எது உத்தமம்? I am having profit. Instead of borrowing the fund, available fund I can make use. That is called self financing. இதுக்கு என்ன பேரு? நமக்கு நாமே திட்டம், self finance. Available fund I am going to make use for companies wealth maximization. So it's an economic method of financing, helps to pay dividend regularly. Why? If I am going to invest somewhere, I am getting profit out of the investment. So help to pay dividend regularly. It increases creditworthiness of the company. Company can withstand the uncertainty in the market. It allows the financial structure to remain unstructured or remain flexible. Clear? Why? Otherwise, you have to borrow the loan from the outside. These are all the advantages with respect to one, or features with respect to self-financing, nothing but plugging back of profit. Then, equity share and the preference share வச்சு கேக்குறான். 4 advantages of equity share and 5 advantages of preference share capital, like +2. Equity share capital என்ன advantage? It's a permanent source of finance. Equity confirm வந்துச்சுனா ஹாப்பியா இருக்கலாம். Helps in increasing borrowing power. Depending upon equity, இவ்வளவு ஷேர் வச்சிருக்கேன்டா பணம் கொடுன்னு கேட்கலாம். Borrowing power increase ஆகும். No obligation to pay dividend, and அப்படி கண்டிப்பா டிவிடெண்ட் கொடுத்து இருக்கா செட்டா இருக்கா? ஈக்விட்டிக்கு only profit தான். And right issue பண்ண முடியும். These are all one advantage with respect to equity share capital. Same on a preference share capital, no dilution of EPS. Equity share இருந்தா தான் dilution of EPS வரும். No dilution, but dilution of EPS will come down. No voting right for the preference share capital. Leverage advantage is better fixed charges. What is called leverage? Leverage na loan amount இருக்கு, fixed கொடுக்கணும். Same ஆன preference share also, residual income only going to shareholders, not for the preference share, equity shareholders. Earnings available to equity shareholders only. அப்ப we are having leverage advantage. எவ்வளவு % சொல்லிருக்கணும்? 12% preference share mean 12% alone you have to give interest or preference dividend. No right to participate in surplus profit. Surplus profit can be participated by whom? Equity shareholders. It can be reduced after a specified period. It can be redeemed after specific period. Preference share வேண்டாம்னா திரும்ப என்ன பண்ணிடலாம்? Redeem பண்ணிடலாம். These are all one advantage with respect to preference share. Plugging back of profit பார்த்தோம். What are all the features in கேக்குறாங்க? Techniques of self financing. Portion of the profit reinvested in the business. Number profit here, part of the profit I am going to reinvest in the business. Retained portion of the profit is known as retained earning. Control is not diluted and no risk factor. These are all one features with respect to plugging back of profit. Capital rationing, we did the problem. Liam? What is called capital rationing? எப்ப arise ஆகும்? Available fund less, but required fund more. Shortage of fund. Then rational manner you have to invest the fund is called the capital ratio. For that purpose, project can be divided into two parts. What are they? Divisible project and the indivisible project. Divisible means breakable, indivisible means unbreakable. Clear? In case of divisible project, you have to select purely based on profitability index is the criteria. Indivisible project means you have to net present value. Yeah. Then types of preference shares, cumulative preference share, non-cumulative preference share, participating preference share, non-participation preference share, redeemable, convertible, okay, non-convertible, convertible preference share. These are all various types are there. Similarly, debentures non-convertible debenture, fully convertible debenture, partly convertible debenture, bearer debenture, then what? Registered debenture, mortgage debenture, enacted debenture, redeemable, irredeemable debenture. These are all the various types of debenture. There are 2 or 3 more questions. Short notes take it. Bonds are callable bond and puttable bond. And 10 types of foreign bond is important. With the 2 lines definition. Okay? Books. What are the 10 types? Foreign currency convertible bond, plain vanilla bond, convertible floating rate note, drop lock bond, then variable rate demand obligation, yield curve note, Yankee bond, Euro bond, Samurai bond, Bulldog bond. These are all bond. 10 types of foreign bond. Foreign bond is Indian bond. Okay. 3 types of Indian bond. நம்ம பேர்ல அழகா இருக்கும். மசாலா பாண்ட், முனிசிபல் ஏதாவது கெட்டா சொல்லிக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்க பாரு. மசாலா பாண்ட், முனிசிபல் பாண்ட் அண்ட் ட்ரெஷரி பாண்ட். இப்போ ஃபாரின் பாண்ட் பரவாயில்லையா? அப்போ அதுக்கு எது பரவாயில்லையா? ஸோ இதெல்லாம் நல்லா படிச்சுக்கோ. இந்த தியரி மட்டும் மோர் தான் சஃபிஷியன்ட். நல்லா ரிவைஸ் பண்ணிக்கோ. என்ஜாய். சரி, யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருந்தா கணுங்களா? குட். இந்த க்ளோஸ் பண்ணி. நான் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறது வேற, எக்ஸாம்ல எழுதுறது வேற. ஃபார் தட் யூ ஹேவ் டு do the proper revision. Good. Thank you.